I will be showing you guys how to do corrective makeup, which is just another word for I'm going to contour my face. So, what's the point of contouring? If you want to bring out some features you may have, you can do that with the shape of your face. You can change the shape of your face. It's also good for the theater aspect of when you're on stage and there's like all these bright lights, you're gonna look like you have nothing, like a blob on your face. So it's good to bring out your structures, like your nose, your cheeks, your jawline, and actually make it look like you have a face. Okay, so today's products I will be using are Ben Nye's Character Shadow, which is CS3. I will also be using Ben Nye's highlighter, which is CH0. Unfortunately, it's almost out. I will also be using Ben Nye's cream foundation in SHK0, which is an ivory. And I will also be mixing it, because I'm not fully that light, with the cream foundation in P12, which is Japanese. I also have the Setting Translucent Powder by Ben Nye and a beauty blending little pad. You can also use a beauty blender. It's all about preference. I flip-flop between them. Usually if I'm doing like a theater-inspired type of makeup, like I am today with my contouring, I use just my blending pad. I will also be using just like a regular foundation brush, nothing too big. You can also use sponges if you want. If you're somebody who likes to put it on with your just bare hands, that's cool too. It's just all about preference, honestly. And this is just a blending brush that I'll be using to put on my contour, to show you my unblended version and my blended version. I'd like to add that also, if you're going to do like regular street makeup, I wouldn't recommend using per se the Ben Nye shadowing and highlighting that I showed you. In my opinion, that's more for like if you're on stage, like to show features that way. I do have a regular just contouring palette. This is great for street makeup in my opinion, and the other one's best for if you're doing on stage type makeup. Oh, and I forgot, we'll be using this brush for my setting powder. So I'm going to begin by evening out my skin tone. I'm just going to take my brush, do a little dipping, and just start sweeping it on my face until my skin is completely even to one skin tone. Now, it's up to you if you want to go as far as like concealing and, adding other stuff. For street makeup, I definitely would go further, and I probably wouldn't, again, use this foundation. I would focus on my normal wear foundation, but for theater, this will work just fine because they're not going to be close enough to be seeing any imperfections you may or may not have. And plus the lights, they're pretty much going to blind out your imperfections. Okay. Make sure you, also very important, just like with any makeup, get your jawline and neck area so you blend in very well and don't look like you just have like this line of makeup where your face and neck meet awkwardly. Sorry, I have dark circles around my eyes naturally, so I like to make sure those are even with the rest of my skin. And basically, as you see me just going over and over with my circle blending, that's all I'm doing. I'm just making sure my skin tone is blended with the foundation, sorry. And blend, blend, blend. I'd like to add, you could never, ever over blend. That's like a key thing in makeup, just blend. Okay. Alright. Let's say my makeup is pretty blended. Okay. So for the first part, like I said, I'll be showing you an unblended version so you can see exactly like where it goes. I will be following this little sketch I did of like, this is my face. I know it doesn't really look like me, but it's my face. So I will start by applying the shadow. Again, Ben Nye. Just take my little blending brush, do a little dabs. Okay, and then I'm just going to apply it as I put it on my little makeup follow guide. If you see me looking away, sorry, I'm using my mirror to help me see as well. And it doesn't really take a lot, like a little goes a long way, I would like to add. So I did the top of my forehead, and then you're going to see where your temples are. You're going to go a little bit above it, like a few inches. Again on the other side. And then I'm going to contour my cheekbones. So what helps a lot of people is if you don't have like prominent cheekbones, which I obviously do not, unfortunately, suck in. And you see that, like you'll feel a bone and stuff and you'll see where it goes in. That's where you're going to shadow, so. Don't worry about it being perfect or anything right now. You will blend it, and if there's any like mistakes or anything, you can just blend it away. It's not a big deal. So the other side. I like to add that I don't sweep the brush, I dab it. I find that method a lot easier for me. Some people, depending on what they use, will just swipe it. I feel whatever works for you, whatever doesn't, doesn't. It takes some messing around practicing, but you'll find what works best. So now I'm going to do my jawline. And this, again, will bring out features on stage, where otherwise I would look like I had nothing. You want to make sure when you're doing your jawline that as you're coming down, you're not like going fully on your chin, like I go under. So along the sides, I'm like on my face, like right above the jawline / on the jawline. Okay, and lastly, you want to do your nose. The shadowing part goes right here, and this will make it appear that you have a nose. Again, don't worry about it being perfect because you will blend, blend, blend. And then like that to the other side. Sorry. Okay. Whoops. And then you want to do like on the tip of your nose to establish that you do have a tip of a nose. Alright, so that completes the shadowing part of the contouring. So next I will be doing the highlighting, and I mean it's pretty mapped out, but I'll still show you. So start by dipping your brush or whatever it is you're using in your highlighter. Okay, so highlighting, I'll start with under the eyes. You're just gonna make, basically the way I see it is like a triangle under your eyes. And so you're gonna, sorry, I need to be able to see this part because it's lighter. So basically, when I say triangle, because it's like this, and then down, and then up, and like not fully down, but like to right here, and that's basically what it is. I tend to take mine out past my dermal onto my temple area, because I feel that whole area should be highlighted and looks better. Then you're going to do the same to the other side. Just imagine it as you're trying to twin your face. Whatever you do to one side, you will always do to the other. Unless you're doing some type of like special effects makeup, or you just want maybe your makeup on each side to be different for some reason. Okay, so I have now highlighting on both under my eyes. Next, I'm going to do my chin. Just imagine like a little half moon, per se. Right there. I will also do my lip right here, where that piercing is. That'll also bring out that area. I'm going to add it to this temple. Make sure that one's good. Next, my forehead, because this is where the light naturally hits as well. And with my shadowing, I also want to make sure it's apparent that I have a forehead. I'm also going to highlight right here, right under my shadowing, to make it more prominent and stand out. Sorry, again, using my mirror. And again, to the other side. I usually take it also to my corners of my mouth, because I feel highlighting your mouth brings attention to it. It shows like, hey, I've got some lips, like, yes. But again, you don't have to. You can just follow and stop where your shadowing ends. I'm also going to add some highlight to my nose, like so. Make sure my forehead's good. I'd also like to add that, like, normally I do fill in my brows and I draw them on and stuff, so I normally have that done, and then I would highlight my brow bone, or under it, shall I say. But you want to make sure you do that as well. I will show you for the purpose of it, with my natural brows. Okay, so that pretty much, do a little right here, since it's not too much. Again, I'm not saying like put a lot on, because it really doesn't require a lot. I'm just trying to make it very prominent for the video to show you guys exactly how it goes. Okay, so this is my face completely unblended. I have my shadowing, my highlighting, and this is what it looks like. Like, we're twinning, basically. Like, Got my jawline, my cheeks, my temples, and my forehead, along with my nose. And then the highlighting in between. Now I am going to blend it for you guys and show you what it looks like blended. Okay, so just a little tip that I feel I should give. If you're going to use a beauty blender, it helps if you wet it first and then, not like soak it, but wet it, then squeeze it and let all the excess water out of it, because it helps blend more and it won't take off your foundation then. If you use it dry, that's for if you like put on too much foundation or too much blush and you want it to absorb it. So just a little hint if you want to use this. I am not, as I said, I only use this for my street makeup contouring kit or my street foundation. I will be using which also, it came with my Ben Nye kit, my beauty blender, this way. So, and I'd like to add that you don't want to over blend, because over blending will take away what you did. And this is for on stage. So this is to show your features with all those bright lights. So what I do is, I don't rub per se. I dab with this as well. I feel that's an easier way to make sure you don't take away too much. You take away just like the right amount, in my opinion. Some people, they blend, like they stick to basically like the color chart, like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna blend all my dark stuff first and then I'll blend my highlighting. I do it all, like whatever area I'm on. Like I started with my jaw clearly, and then if you noticed, I went right here to this highlight and started blending. And basically, I don't see the difference really, and which ones you blend first compared to which ones you blend after. You're blending the whole thing no matter what, so just blend away, honestly. And I know I said earlier that you could never blend too much, which you can't, normally you can't, but as I said, for on-stage makeup, you want to not blend quite as much, because you want to make it apparent that you do have a face underneath all those bright lights. Okay. This doesn't truly take long. It just feels like I'm taking really long. Probably because I'm filming a video. But it truly isn't time consuming. Just a side note, as I'm thinking in my head, if you're doing this for like street makeup, there are tons of different techniques per se. Like most women, they like to contour their face after they've done all their makeup, besides blush. So they'll put on their foundation, they'll do their eyebrows, they'll do their eyes, they'll do everything they do naturally, and then they'll contour their face. and finish it with blush, and then they'll set it with translucent setting powder usually. So, but because this is character makeup that I am showing you, I don't have I didn't do my regular makeup first. I just want to show you the basics of contouring. Okay, so make sure my cheek is more blended out. There we go. Blend my nose. Now for me, and what I've learned as I've come across my makeup journey, whether it was for my theater makeup or street makeup, my nose was always a struggle when it came to contouring and highlighting. Like, I would always over blend it, or I would make it where I put the shadowing, one would be more like straight, or it'd go across my nose differently than the other side would, and so I'd make my nose crooked, or I'd make it look like I didn't even contour my nose, like I over blended. So if you do struggle at first with your nose, trust me, it's normal. Like, I don't know why, especially like, you know, this area, this small little area, you'd figure, oh, that's not going to be a problem. Like, that's so small. No. It's so easy to overblend, or like not make it look symmetrical. Okay. I'm going to blend a little more. And if you do mess up, just wipe it off, apply your foundation, and just keep practicing. Practice makes perfect, because you'll never just get it on the first try. Usually. I mean, there are those makeup gurus who just do it and they're golden. And if you overblend, just take whatever product you overblended and reapply. For instance, I feel as if just right there in that area, I overblended a little. So I will just take my highlighter and fix it, dab some on there, and then just dab it in. As you can see, I do have a nose now. If I was in some bright lights, it would be good. However, my tip I overblended, so you can't tell I have a tip. So again, just go back and fix that. Not a problem. I just took my shadowing, because remember right there you shadow. And I just fill it in. Like so. What also helps is if you have a blending brush, you can use blending brushes instead. Again, it's all about preference. What do you want to use? What don't you want to use? And just blend, blend, blend. And if you notice that, like, your shadowing went far off the edge, what I like to do is, and I'm not saying you have to do it, you can do it any way you want, but I like to take my foundation and just clean it up. If I was doing street makeup, I would just use my concealer and clean it up that way, because I feel that way it makes more sense. That's what it's basically for. But there you have it. I have my my shadowing, and it's still pretty prominent, but again, this is for theater this is a theater perspective, like when you're on stage with the lights, you want it to be not fully blended. My cheeks, my temples, my forehead, the highlight, the shadow, again, my cheek. Blend that just a little more because I feel it's a little too bright. But other than that, that is corrective makeup, specifically a theater edition type of way of doing it. My nose, I have a nose. So if I was on stage, you wouldn't think I just lost my nose. And let me show you, because we're twinning again. If I had no eyes. Okay, so now that you're all blended, you have your features, you're good, you need to set this, because on stage with all those hot lights, it's just going to melt away. In general, even with street makeup contouring, you should always set your makeup so it stays in place. It's not going to go anywhere. If you hit your face, like, well, not hit your face, but if you like slide your hand across your face, it'll make it so it doesn't come off as easily. So I will start by putting taking my brush, get off all the excess powder, and I will lightly sweep the setting powder across what I have just done. Like so. And this will assure me that my hard work is not going anywhere underneath those hot lights. My nose, I'm a little bit more careful. I don't just, because again, I do notice it comes off easier. So what I do is like I dab at it with the powder. And when dabbing, I just want to add, you want to make sure you like really, really dab it good, because you don't want to leave like powder little circles, not circles, balls, little balls of powder. You don't want to leave those on your nose. So that is also what I do. There we go. And then get under. Again, let me just do one little quick sweep through. And there we have it. That is how you contour or corrective makeup. Again, this was a theater purpose, so it is out there, it's bold, and that is the point of it for when you're on stage underneath all those lights. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope it taught you something. Thank you for watching. Get mine.